First of all, there's something I'd like to give you. From Peach.
Hola, comrades! Today's topic of interest, Super Mario Galaxy. Fair warning, this episode will be significantly shorter than usual for a whole mess of issues that I don't have time to get into, so without further ado, let's travel back to 2007. It was a much different world then. There was a Republican president, a war in Afghanistan, and general anxiety about the future. Oh, wait. Okay, it was a different world in gaming at any rate, as I've talked about ad nauseum since the start of this channel. 2007 was a watershed year in gaming, and marked the start of an era of gaming that lasted up until, I'd say last year, 2017. Super Mario Galaxy helped to start the third modern age of gaming, the first lasting from 1985 to 1996, and the second lasting from 1996 to 2007. But how? What made this game so integral in the development of gaming? Let's go back to Mario 64. It's obvious what made that game revolutionary, the jump to 3D. Of course, that game isn't only famous because it took gaming's most iconic franchise into the third dimension, it's also a very solid game, even by modern standards. Decades later, it's still the gold standard for platformers. A Mario game of this quality would not come around again until Mario Odyssey. However, the jump to 3D is what it did best, and that is its most lasting contribution to gaming. Alongside Ocarina of Time, it declared that 3D gaming was far from a fad, that it was the wave of the future. However, Super Mario Galaxy was just as revolutionary, but its influence on gaming is harder to quantify because it was not attached to a major milestone, such as the jump to 3 dimensions. The change it heralded was that of gaming arriving onto a level playing field with other great mediums, such as film or literature. Before, gaming was an art form on the rise, and there was widespread discussion over whether it really counted as an art form at all. Mario Galaxy did not bring an end to that excruciatingly stupid debate, but it did signal a major shift in how people thought about video games. So, okay, it helped raise gaming to the level of other art forms. It marked the point when gaming stopped being an art form still trying to earn its place in the mainstream, and started being an art form that had hit its stride. But what did that look like? 2007 marked a shift toward the cinematic, with games like Uncharted, and BioShock, and Halo 3, and it marked the first stage in a shift toward open-world gaming, with works like The Witcher existing alongside Oblivion, which had been released the previous year. However, that does not capture the full extent of the switch. There was this burgeoning sense of ambition, stemming from how the traditional constraints that had beleaguered game developers since the days of Pong no longer applied. Games could be as big and grand and creative as their developers could make them, and that there was this innate belief that this would solve all of gaming's problems. It was this modernist utopianism, this steadfast conviction that the heart and soul of gaming could be reshaped by new ideas just as easily as old technology is sent into decline by the advent of new technology. They were committed to the concept that the relaxing of these restrictions would allow them to create a new gaming ethos. This would later curdle into platitudes about innovation and cinematic beauty, and immersion slathered over the top of increasingly banal games. The apotheosis of this trend was No Man's Sky, a truly terrible project that exemplifies everything wrong with what had happened to gaming over the course of the last decade. The industry eventually had to confront the fact that technological innovation alone would not solve its problems, that old cliches had just been replaced with new cliches. For the first few years, though, this belief seemed to pan out. In 2007 alone, we had BioShock combining sci-fi, horror, and politics into a satisfying experience. We had Portal changing the face of puzzle games forever. And we had Mario Galaxy, which expanded the Mario franchise to previously unimaginable heights. The third modern age in gaming was all about show-stopping awe, and that's exactly what Mario Galaxy delivered. Sunshine was a pleasant, quiet game about Mario cleaning up graffiti in a resort town. Galaxy is the complete opposite. It's all about ratcheting up the stakes. Mario travels to a slew of other planets. Every level is a different galaxy. The final confrontation with Bowser reaches an imposing level of gravitas that I have never seen in another Mario game before or since. This was Nintendo believing that bigger was better and turning everything up to 11 in accordance. It's a baroque, lurid game, and to an extent it suffers because of that. It concentrates too much on flash and not enough on substance. However, the ambition has to be appreciated. Mario will never stop giving me an endless supply of things to talk about. While it's not the most interesting franchise in the world, there's something primal about it. Like when I'm talking about Mario, I'm talking about the entire history of gaming as well. Mario is a unique franchise because it connects the past to the present in a way that no other series, not even The Legend of Zelda, can claim. Zelda is always sharp and respectful. Mario is boldly populist. Anyway, if you liked what you saw today, consider donating to my Patreon so I can produce even more star-struck content. Also, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that super stuff. Adios, comrade!